This video is not for you if you are looking for a quick, generic training program, which, by the way, you will most likely quit within a week. However, if you would like to take a smart and a strategic approach to building a program that will deliver the results you want, then you are at the right place, my friend. In this video, I'm going to be talking you through the exact step-by-step process of building the best beginner-focused training program for yourself to build muscle and progress towards your dream physique. Now, let's talk about what your program needs to be. First, it needs to be effective. Well, that's no surprise, but your program should cover the fundamentals of training for hypertrophy. Secondly, your program should be sustainable and should enable you to stay consistent. What good is the most scientific, the most evidence-based training program if you can't follow it and keep dropping off? So, let's get started with step 1, figuring out your weekly training schedule. How can we build a program that's going to be effective, but a program which you will be able to keep up with? I have 3 questions for you that's going to help us achieve this. First, how many times a week can you actually go to the gym and train? You have to be realistic here. Don't try and train every day like a full-time fitness influencer. If you are here watching my video, chances are you are working a full-time job, you are busy with your career, you have a demanding schedule, you have other stuff to do and other goals to achieve. So trying to jump on a 5-day training program is not going to be very realistic here. For beginners, I recommend 3 training days a week. If that's too much, then 2 training days a week can also work well at this stage. The next question I have for you is, how much time do you have for each workout? Again, let's be realistic here. For example, if you are going to try and squeeze your workouts in during your lunch break, then an hour might not be possible. 30-minute or 45-minute workouts might be the one for you. The last question I have for you is, what is your current fitness level? Lack of time is not the only reason why you might want to choose shorter workouts. As a beginner, your current fitness level might not be enough for a typical hour of weight training, and there's nothing wrong with that. We all have different starting points. You might be someone with an athletic background, so even though you're new to weight training, you already might have a good level of fitness. And at the same time, you might be someone who has never done any consistent exercise in the past. So an hour of weight training right now might be too much for you, and you might feel unwell if you try to push through it. So be fair here and start at a level that is suitable for you. Now that you know the number of your weekly workouts and the duration of your workouts, let's move on to step 2 and explore the goals of your program. In other words, what should your program achieve for you at this beginner stage of your weight training journey? Goal number 1, your program should allow you to get in maximum practice. Weight training is a skill, and optimal exercise technique must be learned and mastered before worrying about anything else. If you're not performing the exercise correctly to begin with, then it really doesn't matter how many sets, reps, or the number of drop sets you're doing. So technique first, and to optimize our technique, we need practice. The next box our program should tick for us is to minimize muscle soreness, also known as DOMS, delayed onset of muscle soreness. As a beginner, muscle soreness or DOMS will most likely be at an all-time high when you first start lifting weights. And we don't want to be following a program that is going to promote excessive muscle soreness. And let me quickly mention that soreness does not equal muscle gains. And just because you are not sore the day after training, it doesn't mean that your workout was ineffective. However, the possibility of excessive muscle soreness must be considered, especially for beginners, as this can cause discomfort and poor movement, which will negatively affect your ability to perform and practice your exercises. Now, keeping in mind the 2 program goals which we just discussed and your current situation, which we also discussed in step 1, let's move on to step number 3 and determine your training program. Personally, I prefer and recommend the full body workout routine for beginners instead of the muscle group focused program where you're basically dedicating each workout to a muscle group for your chest, for example. This is also known as the bro split, which is not necessarily a bad split, but might be suboptimal for beginners. As with a bro split, you are only training each muscle group once a week, which means not a lot of practice time, but also once a week is not going to be the best for muscle building. In addition, doing the bro split means doing a whole bunch of exercises for your chest, for example, in one workout. So doing quite a lot of work, which is more than likely going to create a lot of soreness. As long as you can have a rest day in between each workout, I would go for the 3-day full body workout program for beginners. An example weekly training schedule could look something like this. Another option that could work really well, especially if you cannot have a rest day in between 2 workouts, is going to be the upper, lower, and then full body split. An example weekly training schedule could look something like this. Now that you have an idea of the weekly routine you are going with, let's move on to step number 4 and look into the individual workouts. Say we're going with the 3-day full body workout split. If you are going for the typical hour workout, I would recommend you go for the legs push-pull exercise order. If the typical hour-long workout is going to be too much and you need to go for the shorter workouts, then I would choose the push-pull squat hinge exercise order. Here's an example 3-day full body workout split with the example exercise orders. If you're going with the upper, lower full body workout split, here's how an example weekly workout routine could look like for you. Step 5. Choosing your exercises for each category in your workout. Example horizontal pushing exercises will include the bench press, the dumbbell bench press, and the chest press machine, for example. Horizontal pushing exercises will mainly work your chest, shoulders, and triceps. Example vertical pushing exercises will include standing dumbbell shoulder press, seated dumbbell shoulder press, and the shoulder press machine, for example. The vertical pushing exercises will mainly work your shoulders and your triceps. Example horizontal pulling exercises will include seated rows, bent over rows, and single arm dumbbell rows. While example vertical pulling exercises will include the lats pull down, close grip pull downs, and chin-ups if that's an option for you. Pulling exercises will mainly work your back and your biceps. Then for the squat-based lower body movements, you have the goblet squats, back squats. Machines for this category can be the leg press or the hack squat. These exercises will primarily work your quads and your glutes. Then for the hinge-based lower body exercises, we can include the hyperextensions and the Romanian deadlift, which is a technical exercise that will require practice to really understand how to perform this exercise and the ability to fully hip hinge. The hinge-based exercises will target more of the back of your lower body, so more hamstrings and glutes. And final step of creating your program is determining the sets, reps, and rest. Performing 2 to 3 working sets is generally a good starting point for beginners. The practical 8 to 12 rep range is also suitable and is a good starting point that allows for good practice. At this stage, there's no need to go heavy with the weights and low with the reps. And the 2-minute rest period can be a good starting point, as it will generally allow for optimal recovery between sets. That's going to be it for the video. I hope you found it useful. I will leave links to related videos which you may find helpful in the description box below, so do have a look. If you have any questions about anything, you can let me know in the comments, or you can get in touch via Instagram. Thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.